Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Set Stories Podcast, where we share stories of the set. Here we have us.
Me first. Me first.
You
Yeah.
Hi
first.
guys.
Who is first?
The lady in the house.
Oh, ladies first.
How are you, gentlemen?
Good. How are you?
Great.
It's hot over here and
Keeping it
windy.
real.
I know. I really
we're
want to be on a set.
Don't worry. With those huge spikes in COVID cases, you could probably do a PSA commercial soon.
No, I don't want to do a commercial. I want to do cinema. I want to tell stories.
Yeah, well, that's why
That
you have
matter.
to have
Film
like
camera.
artistic.
Visuals.
Yeah.
We're doing a
Oh,
Koyaanisqatsi version, but 2020.
Did you say Koyaanisqatsi? Is that what you
Yes, I
said?
can't-
Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
That's okay. I saw that film. I remember seeing that film when I was like in my middle school film class. So I was like a baby when they showed it to me. And I was like, whoa, you can make movies like this? Yeah.
Wow, that's a great time to watch that one. Well, I've worked with like Brazilian, like local 600 DPs, like, big guys.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, and they do everything. They do. But they say like, yeah, in Brazil, like everybody does kind of everything. Like the makeup like helps move stands sometimes and shit.
Yeah.
They're just like used to it. So everybody, and I'm like,
I've heard on like English sets, they have like tea breaks like every like 20 minutes or something. And they're like, what is going on? Why can't we just work? Like, no, we need a tea break.
awesome.
And I'm like,
The
that
AD
sounds amazing to me. I don't know about you
If I
guys.
was to work for any production country, it would be Spain because they only
Why?
shoot for 8 hours, and to make the whatchamacallit production run faster is that every department is filled up. So it's like sound department has 4 to 5 people, camera
Whoa.
6, yeah, and then like
Unheard of.
usually like 2 camera departments. So it's just like 12
camera departments.
Yeah.
2 camera
Two
departments
cameras?
for 1 camera.
Yeah, 2 cameras and then they would have like an A department and a B department. So it's just like A cam has 6 people, B cam has 6 people.
Whoa, dude, that sounds amazing because cam up is just cam up. For second AC is just second AC. That sounds amazing.
And then they only shoot for 8 hours. So they can't go past it because of overtime. So it's just like, what was it? A lot of times they're just like 8 hours comes, they just walk away.
8 hours seems like seems really quick.
It's all normal.
Well, the thing is, it's like if you can imagine like camera and makeup and a whole bunch of other people having like the max amount of people to work on there, like think about how fast that would go.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, like you have actors already in the chair instead of like waiting at their trailer to fucking go up for the next scene so that they can get it done.
That sounds amazing. I want to know how the French do their movies because the French, like, man, like every time like someone suggests watching a French movie, I'm like, it's going to be good. Like, no offense, but it's going to be good. But I don't know what that means behind the camera. That can mean something completely different.
It could be like 3-4 months long for like a short film.
He breaks.
Because over there in France, they care about the art of cinema. It's not about money. It's not so much of business over there. It's about like,
that's the thing.
Actual art.
And that, honestly, you touched on something of a little philosophy that I've been exercising is when you don't focus on the money or on like budgetary, stressing out on that stuff, and you focus on the art, but also the underlying meanings of what it takes to actually achieve good art, which is literally running a set very well and making sure everyone's taken care of. And then also writing a story that could be doable and, that kind of time. And with the crew that you have, being kind of resourceful. That's where it kind of starts. It's funny. I'm doing an episode kind of on that. Just, being resourceful with the time and the budget and what you have to make a movie, like make something doable. But if we focus too much on the money, which I've experienced before with shooting, they're like, oh, it's going to cost expensive. Then we get something shitty because they're tripping out on all this other expense stuff and not focusing on the art or focusing on what it takes to actually run a right set, run it comfortable. It's a distraction, it is. Out here in America, oh God, the money's like up there. It's like the main thing. You
Yeah,
know,
it's number one. Yeah.
it is. So we put that, and then you see some of the stuff like I hate to say it, like Marvels. You know what I mean? It's all just like, all right, we already know it's good. Now it's just like saving money or having money, keeping this much for us, and giving this much to the production or whatever. It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, I've
Yeah.
worked a lot with a lot of French DPs, and it's weird though because it seems like they're so into their art that they know what looks better and what's the better outcome of a shot and the lighting. Was it so like beforehand they already know what they want, and it seems like they kind of like lead the directors. Where a lot of American DPs over here sometimes they don't, I think they're too much of a rush. Well, the thing is, it seems like a lot of the French DPs that I come across, like when they set up the scene, they kind of already know what they want, and then they tell the director like, "Oh, what do you think of this?" And then like they'll do that. Where a lot of times like American DPs when they're like the director's looking into the what you call it into like Video Village or something, they're just like, "Oh, I don't like the lighting or something's weird or something like that." Where it seems like a lot of the French guys I come across are like they're already telling the lighting department what to do, and they're already like telling camera what to do and what lens to use and stuff like that. Where like some American DPs I've ran across where they're like they use a lens that like the director doesn't like and they want to swap it out and the lighting's not working, so what was it they're having to sit there and adjust to what the director wants, where it seems like
Oh
Yeah,
Lord,
it's very
they know
different
what they
how we
want and
make.
they
Yeah.
direct the director.
goes to the direct American. I blame directors, American directors. Blah,
Yeah.
I could say that like you can all
Well,
say that. But from
then
a
again, it's
DP's
like,
point of view, oh my God, man.
yeah. Then again, I've ran across directors before too that like I'm just like, dude, we have to relight for this certain scene if you're gonna continue on, and then they would just still shoot across, and then you would see the girl's face, and there's shadows here, and like the lighting doesn't match, and all that stuff.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, yeah,
That's just like it's that's
yeah.
no
And
way.
I remember last time the what was it, the lead grip or the lighting guy was all like, I don't know why I have to teach these directors like film 101 when you should learn this in school.
Bro,
Oh,
yeah.
you know how
Because
many
they
times
don't
I've said
know.
that on a set, man? In my own head, I'm like, I don't want to be here. What are they doing? They're not doing anything right. Oh my God, like I'm 2 hours behind. This is such an easy thing. Why are they shooting from 20 million angles in this like one little
Yeah.
thing? Like
Right.
they don't need it.
Well,
What am I doing here?
yeah, when you get a good set where it's like, you have a good lighting crew, a good DP, and a good director, like, dude, a lot of times, like, all they need is, like, from that one angle, like, 2 to 3 takes max, and then they move
Yeah,
on to the next.
man.
And that's the thing, too, is just like, it's crazy that, like, even some days you're sitting there and you're like, there's only 5 pages today and it still takes a full 10 hours, but it's because, like, the lighting crew actually takes their time to actually set up the perfect shot so that when you get in there, it's only, like, 2 or 3 takes.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
right?
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's like everyone has their own science, but it's pretty bad when like you've been working in the film industry for a while that you see that you're like, oh yeah, this guy's like completely new to the science and
You
didn't
can
do
tell.
yeah didn't do
It's
his
like
homework.
you point out really well. Like inexperienced people on set would be like, "Wow, he knows what he's doing." It's like, no. You
Yeah,
point out like that's a sixth sense that we develop. You know how to
yeah,
read people on set,
yeah,
literally, and you kind of just do that just by just being there every day with different
yeah.
people. Because you do kind of have to figure out how people work, literally. And like that's really good as far as like people skills go and knowing how to work together. And that's a good, in my opinion, one of the better uh, skills needed, one of the best skills needed to be
Mhm.
successful in this industry and in life in general. I live by certain skills and practice them every day of life, and it's about 6 of them. But one of them is being an individual who can work well with others. And in this
Right.
industry, man, like let's face it, I said this in an episode of Cinematography and Cheap. It's not out. I didn't do it yet. But what makes a good movie, actually it is, it's on the film. What makes a good movie is literally the set and the people that run it.
Right.
And everyone working together. You can have a silly one camera, 10 extras, X amount of crew. If you guys
Right.
know how to delegate and work together and be creative and innovative with your ideas and problem solving, you
Right.
can come out
Right.
with something really well. And sometimes, those in my, and, like I've been in that situation on more of little sets than big sets, And with big sets, like you have and I said this in the first episode, it's like you get all these tools at your disposal, it becomes a distraction. And with
Right.
directors, let's face it, like PAs are tools. Their whole set, everyone there is a tool to them. you
Yeah.
know, and some people get picky with it. And I feel bad, literally. I'm sorry, like post people,
Mm.
bro. That's why I don't want to do posts. I'm sorry for sound people who have to do,
Hey,
like
man, I have to
get
do
calls
post
from
and
directors. You know,
yeah.
it's sad, man, because it's like you guys like stop
Mm.
being picky. You hired me, you know, you hired me for this, and it's like every little thing they're taking apart, and it's like, bro, listen, this is what makes French well.
Mm.
You create something so good, so tantalizing to the eye or to the ear. You know
Yeah.
what they're listening and what they're seeing is so good that it will outweigh the mistake, the very small
Yeah, exactly.
mistake, the little pop in the audio. That little
Yeah.
pop, you hear it, it's like, yo, this is a scene that's incredible. Nobody's gonna know it's a pop.
Right. Well, you know you have a good production crew when it's like an editor when he gets into the editing bay, he's not sitting there having to like lose his mind. He's just cutting there the whole time. Where it's like the audio's fine, the video's fine, the lighting's good and everything. And it's like then you had a good production crew.
Oh Lord.
Like when they're not sitting there like fixing coloring because the lighting was bad or like trying to do
Yeah.
like the
And
scene.
then it makes you feel like proud that you're a part of that film, like, and that it's an actual movie. Like, it's a good story. They're good characters. They hired the right cast and crew. You know, it just makes you feel like you want to do it again. Let's make another movie, guys. Like, come
Right.
on, let's
Well,
do it.
at
And
least
it's just
it also gives the
motivation.
producers, what was it, kind of like a list to be like, this is the crew we're always hiring and going with, so that
Mm-hmm.
we're not sitting there having to spend like thousands of dollars fixing the film before like we
Yep.
can move on to the next one.
It's easy. It comes down to what's convenient and easy. These
Yeah,
guys are easy.
yeah.
I'm gonna keep
Well, that's
Yeah.
what one producer, like, sorry to like blow my horn, but he said, like, he goes, the reason why I hire you and that certain scripty is I don't have to worry about babysitting or something going wrong in you guys' department and you handle it. Or he's like, I don't hear any, you guys coming up and complaining and the, I guess editors later on at the end of the day when they're putting the film together that they're screaming and yelling like audio's bad or like scripty's screwed up and it's not taking the correct notes. Yeah.
You know what? The script you should it'd be funny
Mm.
if you're like, you know what? Write little disclaimers.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they do. Like, this isn't our fault because of natural.
Well,
Like,
Oh,
we
that's
can't
what I
kill
tell.
birds.
I tell
Dude, I
Scripty
tell
that.
Scripty
Yeah,
that sound, we get it.
yeah.
I've had so many like times when I'm like, I'm booming the shot, whatever, and
Mhm.
I hear a huge plane and it's over important dialogue, and I look over to
Right.
the director and I make eye contact, and he's like, just keep going, and I'm like,
Yeah, but
what the hell? And then
Yeah.
afterwards, I go to the AD or the Scripty. Though those are my peeps on set. Be
Yeah.
like, look, make a little note here. The director didn't do anything about it because I'm
Right.
not going to get in trouble. I'm going to be responsible and do my
and you're not
job.
going to be there.
Even
Yes,
sometimes when there's a
please.
scene where like you can't win at all for audio or video, I just like tell the Scripty, I'm like, make note that like across all the takes, like ADR session.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just right. Big ADR needed.
Yeah, well, that's
It's
what I
not. It's
even
not
do
my
in the
fault.
sound notes. So I'm like, I'm not having some editor call me at 3:00 in the morning and be like, "What the hell happened in this set?" I'm like, "Did you read my notes? Did you read script notes? If you're not reading the notes, then you're probably not doing your job."
Yeah, we cover our bases, man. Seriously,
Yeah,
I don't want that call. I don't want it. I don't need it.
I've received it a couple of times and had to sit there and explain it, and it's pretty hard to explain stuff when it's like one you're trying to like remember that set when you're on another set. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Go,
it's 3:00 in the morning and you're just fucking like either high, drunk, or stoned or trying to just get some kind of sleep. And then like these guys are like, "Oh yeah, what happened here?" I'm like, "I don't fucking know." Like, everyone listening.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah. And then like, eventually it does come back. You're like, "Oh yeah, well, they wanted to shoot next to a freeway." So I'm like,
Yeah.
and they didn't take me
Yeah.
on location scouts. So what do you want me to do?